Welcome to our Education and Society website. Firstly, we would like to acknowledge the people of the Woiwurrung and Boonwurrung language groups of the Eastern Kulin Nations on whose unceded lands we conduct our business. We respectfully acknowledge their ancestors and elders, past, present and emerging, and recognise that reconciliation is unfinished business. We have created this website with the intention to provide our viewers with an insight into the struggles of diversity and inclusion our society continues to be faced with today. Regardless of the progression through education models and development of the education system, and provide possible teaching strategies and ideas that could be implemented in today's classrooms to overcome stigma and prejudice behaviours toward those individuals who may, in society's eyes, be considered different. Our website is developed with the consideration of literacy in mind, and inclusion practices provided are aimed at students in Year 1 and 2. To navigate our site, the tabs in the toolbar can be utilised to access information and activities in relation to each focus group. The first tab addresses the focus group of ability and disability. Here you will find information that discusses how society has developed through the movement of education models and has adapted to accept and modify learning content in order to reduce discrimination against students who have a disability. However, students who have disabilities are still treated differently in today's classrooms, although the intention is not to single them out but to provide these students with extra support. This could be done differently in order to reduce the stigma toward these students if teachers implement disability inclusion practices within their classroom environment. If teachers undertake this form of teaching in their classroom, they are not only providing all of their students with positive learning experiences, but promoting equity to students and ensuring that each student's needs are met. The first disability inclusion activity provided explores the idea of getting students to create a narrative piece with the use of digital technology. If there are students who have learning disabilities, for example dyslexia, reading, writing and spelling could be challenging tasks. Therefore, completing a writing task using Keynote, an interactive presentation program, all students have the opportunity to complete the narrative task. Students can speak into the microphone of the program and then use the keypad to dictate their content. Students can change the voice recording into writing, which can be displayed on the slides. Students can also upload pictures and illustrations to accompany their story. Students are provided with the same opportunities, and the activity has been modified to accommodate for each student's needs. The second disability inclusion activity provided involves an interactive read aloud. This activity is a modification to a standard whole class read aloud to meet the needs of students who may have a hearing impairment. Instead of moving the student who has the hearing impairment to the front of the class to maximise their ability to hear the content being read and drawing attention to their disability at the same time, the teacher could introduce an interactive read aloud. Using the program Epic, the teacher can project the story onto a whiteboard or TV screen and the story is read to the class. As the words are read, they are highlighted, making it easy for students to follow the text. The volume can be adjusted to accommodate the setting. If you move to the second tab, you will find information regarding ethnicity and race.
You will find some information that talk about what is the meaning of race and ethnicity, how they form and the relationship between these two words. Well, nowadays discrimination still exists. Some of the people may have different opinions on women, Aboriginals, refugees, and so on, so I give some suggestions here. This page as well as display two activities. Both of them are focused on Year 1 and 2 and related to the race and ethnicity, which links to Victoria curriculums. They are not only focused on English reading and speaking, but also focusing on visual arts. The first activity is to ask students to read some books. The book's topic needs to have a relationship with the race or ethnicity. So after students finish reading, They can give a presentation and they will get to know there are a lot of people around them have different backgrounds. If you move to the second activity, you will see this activity is a kind of visual art. Students will create their own robot and the robot will have its specific backgrounds. When the students display and introduce their robot to their classmates, they will learn a lot about race and ethnicity for their peers. If you want to learn something related to sex and gender, you move on to the third tab.
On this page of the website, you will find information regarding the changing nature of society to try to recognise the different stereotypes around gender. It also includes how this is seen in the education system. The page also has activities aimed at Year 1 to 2 students in order for them to try and recognise these stereotypes at a young age. The first activity displayed on the page is an activity aimed at making the students aware of the different types of genders that are portrayed in children's books around them, and allows them to recognise the harmful nature of the gender stereotypes at a young age. The students are engaged in a discussion around the stereotypes that are associated around gender and then asked to respond using a creative writing task based around individual identity and what and how a boy or girl should be portrayed according to them. The second activity displayed on the page is an activity that is created to also make the children recognise the gender stereotypes but seen in today's media, specifically seen in the toy catalogues that have boy or girl toy sections. To begin the task, a group discussion happens with the whole class around what games or toys are boys or girls and why. The students are then placed in groups and asked to identify how the catalogue presents the boy and girls toys and write down some points. After the group writes down some points, each individual is asked to write a few sentences on what was found in the catalogue. That is all presented on this page of the website. Furthermore, under the More section, you can access information regarding social class.
Here provides information on social class or socio-economic status. It provides information on the meaning of social class and how it can be identified in the classroom. This section also provides teachers with different inclusive activities and resources to acknowledge social class discrimination in the classroom. These activities focus on literacy for grades 1 and 2. The first activity is called Personal Belongings. It allows students to get a sense of how social class separates people based on what items they own. Students are shown different types of personal belongings and have to discuss which social class would have what item. They can then write about what they have learned, what they found interesting, and ways to improve social discrimination in school. The second is a resource that could be used in the classroom to get a deeper understanding of low social class and its effects on people's everyday lives. The story is about a family who loses all their possessions and has to save and save to buy a comfortable chair for their mother. The book is full of beautiful watercoloured pictures that hold a deep meaning of social class and privileges. It discusses the struggles the people with little belongings go through and could be a great book to read aloud to the class to gain a deep discussion. Finally, a reference list is also provided to outline where we have resourced our information for our site. We hope you will find our website beneficial and informative in regards to providing diversity and inclusion in the classroom. Thank you.